Sometimes you're on top of the world. Everything is going according to plan, or even better than you had hoped for. Every piece of the puzzle is falling so perfectly into place. You're happy, you're on track with everything you need to do. There's a strong feeling in your gut that you're on the right path, and you can hear a little voice that says, good things are coming, have trust. And you're so excited for whatever life has to offer. You're curious, you're open to receiving, you feel strong and ready. And then life happens, and everything you just felt is chucked out the window. It's funny how that's an actual saying in itself. Life happens. It just goes to show you that life itself will never be a smooth journey. There will always be bumps in the road, hurdles that you'll have to jump over, replanning and rerouting. It's all part of life. It's not easy to pick up the camera when I'm experiencing stress or any lows in life in general. During the past week, I found myself riding waves of intense emotions. When I was stressed in the past, I would allow the fear and anxiety to overwhelm and consume me. But now I found myself moving through the periods of stress with more awareness and kindness towards myself. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I've honestly not been feeling the best the past week. Something unplanned and unexpected happened in my business, which forced us to close for a couple of days, and that brought me so much stress. The fix was essentially out of my control. I had no power over it, which kind of just made it a lot worse, and I was stuck playing a waiting game. I find that when I'm stressed and I don't have control in a certain situation, I somewhat become paralyzed, and I found myself just waiting, counting down the minutes and the hours of each day passing, just hoping that the issue would be resolved. And at the same time, at the back of my mind, I'm just aware of my to-do list and task list just piling up, which just made it worse and a little bit overwhelming. And at the exact same time as all of this happened, my monthly cycle decided to make an appearance. So not only was I paralyzed from the work stress, but I was also extra emotional, extra sensitive, and in pain too. I had multiple breakdowns in the car, walking on the streets, on the phone with a client, and of course, a big cry in the shower. There's something about crying in the shower that just brings me so much relief. I think it's my favorite place to cry, as crazy as it sounds, but I feel like when I'm in a certain situation and I'm surrounded by people and going about my day doing what I have to do, I feel like I can hold myself together really well. Like I don't crack under the pressure. But as soon as I'm alone in my own company and I feel safe, everything just comes pouring out. But maybe I need to find a way to prevent it from building up like that too. Things will always happen in life or in business that completely throws you off track. And it's much easier said than done to just let go, especially when the power is out of your hands. I'm a person who usually doesn't deal with stress very well at all. I get pretty easily overwhelmed and consumed by it. But obviously you're asking for it when you're running a business, because something will always go wrong. I've learned a lot over the past year, and I'm slowly getting better at handling stress and keeping myself together during these periods of life. In the past, whenever I experienced stress, lows, or when something unplanned happened, I'd easily play victim and make excuses for myself. In a way, I'd get lazy in all other areas of my life and let go of all the things I was working towards, and I'd allow that stress to consume me. So now I'm not letting that happen.
I try my best to focus on the things I can control and make sure that I'm taking care of myself by keeping up with all of my daily self-care practices, doing the things that I know will make me feel better once it's done. For me, that's waking up early, moving my body, and dropping into my present self, connecting deeply with all my feelings, either by yoga, meditation, or journaling. During periods of stress or sadness, I usually lean towards either extremes of binge eating or not eating at all. Now I make sure to cook and eat nutritious whole meals despite the emotions I feel, and just prioritize my health.
In the past, when I was in the middle of experiencing intense stress, I was never able to pause or slow down or take myself out of the situation, even for a brief moment, to notice what I was feeling. Now I feel like I'm a lot more in tune with myself and a lot more able to bring myself back into the present moment to notice what it is that I'm feeling. Despite the intensity of what I'm experiencing, I can take a step back and ask myself what it is that I'm feeling and what do I need to do in order to feel even just a little bit better.
During the past week, just understanding the reasons behind my increased sensitivity and emotions made me feel okay with all the breakdowns I had. I was able to treat myself with more kindness and compassion. I even ended up baking myself some brownies to satisfy those cravings, and I actually allowed myself to sit down and enjoy them guilt-free. Something that really helped me is reminding myself of the impermanence of everything in life, finding relief that soon all the stress will be over. I kept on telling myself that life wouldn't give me what I can't handle, and sometimes all you can do is trust that you'll make it out of the storm okay. I also know that there's so much to learn from every hardship that we face in life. So we need to learn from them and take those lessons with us, and the next time life knocks us down, we'll be able to get back up a little faster, a little stronger, and hopefully a little wiser. I've become so much better at problem solving, controlling my emotions, and holding myself together because of all the challenges I've previously faced. So now, when new hardships arise, instead of resisting it, I try to accept it and welcome it into my life, because there is always something to learn from the hardships.
Practicing gratitude and being able to shift my perspective in these situations have become so powerful for me. It allows me to release all that negativity and that anger, frustration, and sadness, and instead fill me with gratitude and abundance. My dad sent me a photo of himself this morning, and it just fills my heart to see him with such a big smile on his face. He was diagnosed with MS over 10 years ago, and while it's not my story to share, I just wanted to briefly mention it because I am filled with complete admiration over his mindset and how he navigates and continues to navigate this massive life change. Despite the many daily challenges that he faces and the intense pain that he experiences, he can still put a smile on his face amidst that pain and just say how thankful he is that he doesn't have it worse. I think that is such an incredible reminder to not take things for granted, and that there is always something that we can be grateful for, no matter how grim or gray things are looking. It's so easy to get caught up in everyday issues like these that don't really matter in the end anyways. And that's something that I know I need to remind myself more of, I mean, at the end of all of this stress, a few days later, when everything was resolved and back to normal, it's as if, none of it even happened anyways.
I may have still had several breakdowns because of it, and that's okay. I'm still proud of the way I handled myself, and that I didn't allow the stress to fully consume me. All of this is just a part of life. We're going to have good days and bad days. And all we can really do is accept that life isn't always going to be a smooth ride. In the end, it's really about how we navigate through these challenges, even if it's just a tiny fraction better than the last time. And to just keep pushing forward and getting back up, no matter what knocks us down.